What mistakes do you see new graduates make most often?
Oh, this is a good one. I would just say, like, knowing that they have, they should have the confidence to step into the position. Hopeful, and I'll just say this, I guess, like, biasly from Aspire, but like knowing that they're going to be surrounded by other therapists that are very invested in them succeeding and they want to help, whether it's of the same discipline or not. You can learn so much as a new grad, as an experienced clinician, doesn't matter, from your other disciplines. And so I think even if you are put into a situation that feels a little bit less supportive, really having the confidence that like you will figure it out. You have to like sometimes do the work, outside on your side. Like, I don't know about that treatment. I'm going to ask a mentor outside of my workplace or a previous professor, or I'm going to do research online or some peer reviewed articles or whatever it is. Like, there is like a component where it's like you have to be accountable for what you don't know and that you're still learning. But I also feel like being confident that like you will figure it out.
What qualities do you look for when you're hiring therapists?
First off, I feel like team player is like a huge piece of what we look for. So, and that I feel like is a very like broad term, but it's so important. Like, if two people show up to a patient at the same time, for example, having someone be like, hey, you go ahead and do your treat, like I'll get it the next time. And just having this understanding of like, that they want to make sure your schedule is good and vice versa. Mm-hmm. So teamwork, I think along with that is like communication. We're a huge proponent of like clear is kind. And so making sure that like we're setting clear expectations and that other people are kind of clear, and like if they are navigating like a conflict or whatever, like everyone stays professional in that. I think that really does go back to teamwork. And then let's see, there was something else that came to mind. I would say, oh, that they like the setting. So we really like to have, if someone is making a change from a different setting, say it's a physical therapist going from outpatient ortho into senior living, for example, or maybe it's OT going from, I feel like home care is like a pretty easy transition, maybe like a hospital or something, a different setting. We really want them to shadow and to know like what this setting is. And because senior living is its own special setting and our expectations of how we show up is unique. And so we want people to be like eyes wide open when they accept the position, that they know what is the setting, the company, all of that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Okay. So for advice for OTs in this practice setting, and honestly, this might not just be specific to this practice setting, but I think it's like, I would say that you're not just treating like the person, like you are treating their family members and the people around them that love them and care for them. And I think sometimes, and maybe this goes back to like your question of like how, like advice I would have for a new grad. I feel like for me as a new grad, I used to be like, okay, with this person, I'm going to walk in and I'm going to do like A, B, C, and D. And sometimes it's like, it's okay to like not get through your whole treatment plan, totally deviate off of it, and like create the space for someone to share their struggles. And, even though they're not actively doing an exercise, like that emotional piece and that like the mental health piece is like such a big part of their journey and like how you are showing up for them as a therapist. Just compassion, which I feel like most therapists have.
What skills do you think new therapists should focus on developing that school may not emphasize enough?
Ability and like adapting. And I also feel like therapeutic use of self is like very much underrated. Like that, being able to use your therapeutic use of self, like in motivating people or explaining your why behind, what your treatment is. And I just feel like that's such a powerful thing. And like for a new therapist, that may be a little bit hard to kind of like really know right off the bat, like when you're in school, or just coming out of school. But I would just say like being adaptable. I feel like when I was a new therapist, it was like I was definitely more rigid. And I feel like that's totally normal. It's totally normal because like it's what you learned. You want to make sure you're like safe and like you're doing things the right way. But also just knowing like that being adaptable and drawing from other therapists, again, outside of even OT, from other disciplines, drawing from their experience it's massive.
Awesome. What advice would you give to me as a level 2 student in the second half of my level 2 fieldwork?
Be a sponge. Be a sponge. So like any opportunity that Callie, your CI, gives you, if she's like, hey, if you'd want to see some of this, or you want to like see what it's like to be in, speech treatment or this, or yes, just like say yes, no matter what. Like that was the advice that like one of my CIs or instructors had given me. I did my level 2 at it was a level 1 trauma center, and they were like, do you want to go shadow like the trauma bay and just see what happens? Yes. Like it's just, yeah, I would say that is the biggest thing. Like see if you can shadow other therapists, other OTs, anything, just be a sponge.
Awesome.